Trump called it years ago when he said fake news, right? And that fake news and the media portrayal of the Republican Party and everything like that has led to where we are today. Our former commander in chief had a pretty bad weekend, to put it lightly. He had a pretty bad weekend where some people tried to take him out. And here I haven't watched this yet, but this is Don Jr. talking about the situation that unfolded over the weekend.
Stop. We got to get our country back on track. We got to create some unity. We have to start putting America first. And my father is the only person actually capable of doing that because he's already done it. He done it despite the rhetoric, despite the attacks from the media, despite the attacks from big tech, Democrats, rhinos in his own party. And he still had an incredible record of accomplishment. If we had some unity and we had some people working collectively to get this done, we can do incredible things for America. But that's not what the Democrat Party wants right now.
No, and it's true. We're going to get political today. But man, I just got an email from a vendor that I use, and it was talking about Donald Trump, and it was like basically, you know what? There are people on both sides of the spectrum who are good people. We really need to stop saying that if you like Donald Trump, you are, a threat to America, a threat to democracy. We're going to be basically taking out the entire country, right? At this point, given this violence that we are looking at here, we really need to rethink the way that we are portraying the Republican Party and especially Donald Trump. I mean, realistically speaking, there is no need for this whatsoever. And the hateful rhetoric that is used by the Democrats and their parties has really turned into violence. And it is sick. It is disgusting. And that is what they wanted, right? They wanted to sow discourse all the way back from the George Floyd riots to today. There is all kinds of just poison out there. Hey, Max, good to see you. Glad you're here. The media equals poison. Yeah. Hey, Brian, good to see you. And it is just absolutely sick and disgusting that this is the point that we are at in America, where somebody decides that they're going to try and end Trump's life. Now, granted, I love conspiracy. I can't tell you how much I love conspiracy theories. I was telling my family all weekend, I love conspiracy theories, but this is one I'm afraid to go down because it's going to really make me feel like we as the American people have been let down by the Secret Service and by those that are in charge. But Trump called it years ago when he said fake news, right? And that fake news and the media portrayal of the Republican Party and everything like that has led to where we are today. Brian says that is definitely one way to look at it. Leo, glad you're here.
Your dad put out a Truth Social post, and he said that God alone is responsible for his protection. He also asked for prayers. I saw your sister also tweeted that the anniversary of your mother's death was when is it? Is it today? Today. Yeah. So yeah. He has an angel looking out for him. He has God looking out for him, because how else can you explain for the bullet to pierce the top of his ear just millimeters from his brain? How else do you explain it?
I mean, if there's ever been divine intervention that I've got to witness in my life, it was yesterday. I mean, that half an inch difference, and we're having a very different conversation. We're probably not actually having a conversation today. It's truly something special, and I hope that's just an omen for the future of our country, because we need it.
But I got to tell you right now, I think that the Republican Party and Trump has basically solidified him being president, right? There is no better image. Let me see if I can find it real quick. There's no better image, in my opinion, of what an American president should look like than that right there. You got the American flag in the background. He's got his Secret Service members surrounding him. They're trying to take him off the stage, and dude's like, fight, fight, fight. Man, it just gives me goosebumps right there, right? That is the kind of leader we want in charge, not somebody who's like, I need Jill to change my diaper. So yeah, there's my politics for the day. Hope you didn't mind. Let's jump right into our market analysis. All right, welcome to the OVTLYR trading room. While I pull up my document here. Welcome to the OVTLYR trading room. This is smart trading made simple. Save time, make money, start winning with less risk. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Christopher Yule. I've twice been awarded top 100 people in finance. I've been successfully trading since 2009, and I am a partner with OVTLYR, and this is my style of trading with OVTLYR. Come on, man. Come on, man. Where's my chocolate chip ice cream? Well done, Sebastian. We're going to be using the golden ticket trading strategy, which is the 8 steps to turn profit hacking into pure gold. And it always starts with the market, trading with the trend of the market. I had a theory. I have not back tested this yet, but I had a theory. We had a small losing streak recently, and I was really wondering, like, what are the correlations around this, right? And I got to thinking about the fact that we're now inside of a small winning streak, and I got to thinking, I wonder if there's a really strong correlation between when the SPY has a buy signal in OVTLYR, right? Because let me pop this over here. The SPY got a buy signal on July 11th, and the last handful of trades that we put on are actually doing really well. But we've not had. Oh, let me rephrase it. We've had a little string of losers during this time right here, during the sell signal, right? So a sell signal inside of an uptrend is really a take your profits and go to cash, not a go short type of signal. And we did just get a buy signal, so I am curious. And I do want to do my research there, but I think there could be an additional layer of correlation that I want to start layering on. But we always start with the trend of the market. The trend of the market is up right now. In fact, we are really close to where I said I would be starting to go long on SPY. I haven't yet because it hasn't cleared over at the close of the prior day of the signal day high, and that was a terribly worded explanation. The high from the signal day has not been closed over yet, so that's why I've been waiting. That's the way to explain it, Chris. And it's pretty close. It's about 10 cents under right now, but it's not quite there. But the market is still trending higher. We saw that. Now the market breadth. See, this is an idea that I'm floating. Let me just mark it as italic. It's an idea that I'm floating. I'm gonna do the research on it. But the market breadth, if we drop the 5 and add the 10, this is the percent of stocks on their on the bull list. And we got a buttload today, 130 new ones today, which is why you see the line like really shoot up like that. Brian asks, will you share how you perform that analysis? Oh, by all means, my friend. I think I'll start manually going through, right? Manually going through the trades that we made, saying, okay, if the SPY was in, it's all if statements, right? If I took the trade, was the SPY in a buy or a sell orientation inside of OVTLYR? Was the market breadth in a buy or sell orientation? Doing a lot of if statements like that. Hey Peter, congratulate or good to see you. Happy Monday. How you doing? I don't know why I thought I'd say congratulations. But yeah, the market trend is definitely trending up higher on the market breadth, and especially with 130 names today. I've already done a little bit of analysis because I'm like, I ain't got time. No one has time to do 130 analyses for the day. So I got you. All right, we're going to skip a little bit ahead. Now, before we take on any new trades, we're going to reduce risk before adding some new trades. And we're going to breeze through this real quick. BAC. This is about where I got in. Looking at BAC, it's not below a half ATR. It's not below the 10 EMA. And if we look at the heat map, I just want to see if the heat map has stalled yet. We got in at G14 at that line up here. G14, G15, G16. So no, it's continuing to go up into the greedier aspect. We said we'd get out at G24. I don't have reason to get out, so BAC stays on. AEM. This is one we rolled up last week. Still looking great. Not below the half ATR. Not below the 10 EMA. Let's go check the cylinder strength point on AEM. And the current heat map value. We got into R1 and it's moved up to G5. So I said I would sell into strength at G13. We're not to that point yet, so AEM can stay on. Leo says, maybe include the sector signal also. The sector buy and sell. These guys. That's a good idea. I like that. All right. Moving on. Continuing on here. I like that, Leo. I like it a lot. In fact, one of my very favorite quotes, I actually have it pinned up on my wall over there. It says 40% of a stock's price movement was due to the market, right? So that's why we let the market tell us which direction it's going. 30% is due to the sector. So I really like where your head is at. And then the final 30% is the stock itself. So I like that, Leo. I'll definitely be taking a look at that. Brilliant idea. So AEM stays on, BAC stays on, NEM. So it's not below the half ATR. It's not below the 10. It's pointing upward. Let's see on NEM, the behavioral heat map. I'm going to zoom in. It went from G1, G3, G5. So that's continuing to move up. And I'd said I'd get out at G11. And so I don't have any reason to get out just yet. So those three stay on. However, one of our friends is not looking as good as the others, right? 3 out of 4 are working today. One guy needs to get out of the way, and that would be UL. There was some news on Unilever. In fact, let me pop this open. A.O. Smith agrees to buy water purification, which apparently is part of Unilever. I don't know. I was hoping for more detail in that. So yeah, part of Unilever. Yeah, A.O. Smith agrees to buy water purification business Puriet from Unilever for $120 million in cash, and apparently the market doesn't like that. So because of that, we do need to bounce, right? It's below the half ATR. So let's go open the trade. I'm sorry, not open. Close the trade in UL. UL. Go over here. Okay, so we were in the UL August 16th, 55s. So we definitely need to close that. The UL August 16th, 55s. All right, so I'm looking to close. Current mid prices at 262. I'll start at 260. See if I can get filled. All right, I'm out. Fill price was 261. 261 was my fill price on there. So I'm out of UL at 261. Let me update the Discord. I have not had it, as you can see, I have a lot of unreads on here. I've not had to take a look at it over the weekend. Okay, here we go. We're going to reply. We're at 261. 55 balls. Pardon me while I sneeze. Ah, geez. For 261. And let me do my details. By the way, I spent 3-ish hours over the weekend getting my sound settings right. So if it sounds good to you, will you let me know? I want to make sure that I did it correctly. If it doesn't sound great, let me know as well so I can make it go sound correct. But I feel like it's sounding like it's supposed to. Okay, so we got in at 320. Just got out 261. Today is the 15th. All right, so on that option, it was an 18.55% loss, which did what to my portfolio? Not a whole lot. Oh, no, that's the wrong position size. Okay, that was the right position size. And that did what to my portfolio? 2.65%. I was hoping it would be less than that, but 2.65%. I'll survive with 97% of my account. 97% and change. I'll be right. Oh, thank you, Michael. Appreciate it. Great sound so far. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Definitely want to make sure that I have the very best live stream as possible for you. Okay, so we're out of UL. Everything else stays on. They're all performing well. So I'm going to drop UL off my main list, and I'm not coming back to that guy for a while. Give me just a second here. Okay, let's move on. So the next step, we've already taken off our old trades, is to look at the bull and bear list for new signals today. And like I said, there's 130 new ones today. So I already filtered them down. I've already copied out the ones that are over 1 million shares average daily volume. And I've already dropped them into the OVTLYR bull list right here. Now there's still quite a lot, but let's run the scanner on these, and there's really not that many. The scanner is going to check for a handful of things. So there's no order blocks in our way. There's no earnings the next 3 days, and the price is moving in our direction. And you can see there's only 6. So AFL, CLS, DUK, KBH, MTG. I have some notes I need to remove on that. And then TEL. All of that looks pretty darn good. So the next step here, by the way, I did think it was interesting that the market with the assassination attempt is still pretty strong, right? I would hate to see, it up 2, 3, 5% or whatever, and then them say, oh, yeah, because Trump almost died, the market is up because people are so stoked that he almost died, right? Because of course the media is going to spin it that way. But just curious to see that, right? And we do have that buy signal that came through just a few days ago, but it's still not where I want to see it just yet. So of these 6, we need to check the outlier signals back test. Now, one of our friends, I think it was Goran, showed me a really simple way to do this. And so let me see. Give me a second here. I want to do it in the easiest way possible. So we take this and I move it over. And then I can take this list here. It's alphabetical, so I can pop it open like this. AFL, CLS, DUK, that's Duke Energy. I've traded that a few times. KBH. Load more. MTG. And then TEL is the final one. Okay. And then I can put this over here, this over here, and this over here. And we're all in the right spot. Okay, cool. So now all we're going to do is look on the performance summary, and we're going to look for positive expectancy. And I'm going to order them from highest to lowest. That way we know in what order to go. So AFL has 11%. CLS has 356%. That goes in front. DUK, Duke Energy, has 43%. KBH, 116%. MTG, 27%. And TEL has 62%. So all of these look really strong today. I like it. Okay. Real quick, I want to go to Dev. I mentioned this on Friday. The Dev portal has access to a scanner. It's not available in our production portal yet. Just a second. This is loading. Okay. So this is Dev. Curious to see what it looks like right now. Okay, so here's that scanner we were talking about. Okay, it doesn't look like a lot's changed since last week. But I mean, everything I see on here is definitely going to be changing soon. So like I can hit the uptrend indicator. I can hit whatever sector I want. If I want a sector, outlier signal return, positives, capital efficiencies, maybe, maybe not. 30-day average volume over 1 million. Current signal status, buy, price correction. Oh, Mahesh was telling me about this one. He likes this one because he wants to see something that's had a pullback and then going forward, where and then you can describe how much correction. Oscillator moving up, apply filter, and then you can change the market cap to be whatever, price range to be whatever, heat map value. Let's say we could do whatever. And then, I mean, like I say, this is in dev, so it's still being worked on by the developers there. But yeah, this is cool. I can't wait for that. That's going to save us a little bit of time. I like it. Okay, so the next step is to look at the breadth sector, right? So Leo talked about the sector buy or sell signal. One thing I have been including is the breadth of the sectors. So let's look at technology. We'll pull up a handful of breadths just for the sake of loading time. We have technology, which I'm looking at this field right here. We have discretionary, Load faster. That's utilities. That's financials. There we go. Discretionary. Financials. Utilities. They're gonna be like every one, it looks like. This was utilities. This is financials. That's technology. That's financials. Okay, so I think we got them all. So let's start with this one I didn't do. This one I didn't do. Utilities. Okay, that looks good. So it's moving up and moving up fast, right? Once it gets over 75%, I'm okay with that. But once it crests there and starts coming back down, that's where I'm going to halt trading on these. So utilities looks good. Financials. Oh, check this out. Financials is at a real strong run lately. So this has gone from 75, 78, 81, 84. So that means 84% of the financials have a buy signal right now. That's cool. But once that turns around, I'm not putting on any more financials for a minute. Not until that settles down, comes back down. Because every time it waves up and down. Okay. It waves up and down. We want to be riding the up wave while it's going up. But once it crests the up to wave, I don't want to be adding any more. Okay. So financials looks good. Discretionary. Man, look at that like vertical line for today. Still, that looks great. No issues there on discretionary. And technology. So all of these sectors look super sharp to me. All right. So the next step is now looking at the options chains. So what we're going to see for all of them is 21 days to expiration at least, 250 plus open interest at least, less than 50-cent bid ask spread, generally 20% or less extrinsic value. It puts us usually around 80 delta. So let's start with CLS. Let's do August 16th because July 19th is too close. We've got some liquidity here. This one here looks okay. Let's take a look at it. That's a 73 delta versus a 79. The 84 delta is over my $10 limit. This is close to my $10 limit. I'm interested, but it's only 150. So this is really the only one that I'm looking at deep in the money. So 240 over 870. So the extrinsic value. 240 divided by 870 is 27%. It's a little rich, especially on a $55 option strike right there. It's got lots of open interest. We could do it. We could do it. CLS, August 16th, 55 calls. It's only 10 cents wide. Yeah, I'm good for that. And how many days is that? 32 days out? We got plenty of time. Okay. I'll go for that one. This is CLS, August 16th. And we're looking at the 55s. Mid price is 860 right now. See if I can get 860. Okay, CLS, August 16th, 55 calls, putting in the order 860. Oh, get your position size. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. Get your position size. So I could just type it in over here, CLS. All right, I got my position size. 860. Now let me edit it. Let me do 865. Okay, not getting in. Let's try 870. Okay, I'm filled. Average fill price is going to be 868. 868 was my average fill price. So let me put that in the Discord real quick. So today's the 15th. That was CLS, and that was 868. A 55 strike. The UL 55 strike was 321. That's what I mean. That was a really expensive option. Okay, whatever. Trade number one. 715, trade number 1, bought August 16th, CLS, 55 calls. Yeah, that's what I mean. I just thought that was really expensive for what it is, but I mean, it's trading at 61, so it doesn't have all that much extrinsic. CLS, 55 calls. Average price was 868. And it's currently trading at what? 61.16. All right. We're in CLS. Let me add that to my main list. Michael asks, position size. What means the row shares is the number of shares? Okay, good question. Good question. So this is a scanner that I provide to you inside the Discord in the VIP Investors Toolkit. Whenever you look to set this up, of course, you have the option. You can buy as many shares as you want. You can buy as many option contracts as you want, right? I don't recommend that. I would definitely recommend putting a limit on how much you're going to take for each trade. And so you do that by putting in your account balance, whatever that is, your percent risk per trade, and usually around 80 delta, so I never change that. So the percent risk per trade, you could say 5%, you could say 50%, really doesn't matter. But the objective here is to say, okay, all things being equal, using the ATR as the equalizer, right? So you could have a very exciting stock like Tesla or a very boring stock like Coke, and they're going to have different ATR values. And that ATR value is what's used to calculate the position size. So in this case, right, if you had a $400,000 account and a 5% risk, that would be 54 options, or 4,300 shares would be approximately the same point. Now, of course, you can do anything you want, right? But this is a helpful guide to help give you an amount of risk that is appropriate, right? Because the last thing I want to do is blow up my account. The absolute last thing. I've done that twice. I don't want to make it a third time ever. And so I only want to risk 5% at max, right? When we took off UL just a few minutes ago, that was a 2.6% loss to my account. So it was half of my risk that I'd take per trade. So we want to make sure that every trade that we put on is risking an appropriate amount to our account, where if things go wrong, it's not going to take us out. But if things go right, it's hopefully big enough where it can actually work in our favor. Okay, so CLS, we'll move on from that. We'll come back to it and fill in all of our details. KBH. Let's go look at KBH. KBH. Oh, that's KB Homes. Okay, so KBH. Let's look at the August 16th. Got a little bit of liquidity here. 417 at the 82 delta. 20 cents wide. 88 cents on 770 is pretty good. I know that's not exactly 10%, but not too far off. So 88 over 770 is 11%. Yeah, I like that. You're welcome. You're welcome, Michael. So that one looks sharp to me. 20 cents wide. I have no issues with this trade. This looks awesome. Let me put this one on real quick. Hang on, let me make an edit on this. Okay, so we're looking at the KBH. August 16th. 70 calls. Current mid price is 760. Okay. Get your position size as well, right? So let's just drop this over here so we can be on top of that. So KBH. Getting my position size. All right. Let's go into here. KBH, 70 calls. KBH, August 16th, 70 calls. And let me see if I can get filled at 760 is the mid price. I'll try 760. All right, that's working. Not getting filled. Let me try 765. That's probably going to be filled right away. Okay, we're in 765. Lock it in. Lock it in, KBH 765. This is trade number 2 today. This was the 70 calls for 765. And KBH is currently trading at 76.65. Okay. All right. So CLH, KBH, CLS, KBH are on right now. We'll come back to this. And let's go to the next one. Duke Energy. I know I've traded this one in the past. Give me a second here. See how much. Seeing how much I can trade with. I know I'm starting to get a little close. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm about halfway in right now. That's what I was trying to figure out. Okay, good to go. Let's go to Duke, August 16th. Yeah, lots of liquidity. All right, at the 79 delta, 804 open interest. 30 cents wide is a bit wide. See what I mean? Like this is a $6 option on a $100 strike versus a $8 or whatever dollar option on a 55 strike. By the way, this is like $1 wide. I don't know what's going on with Duke, but I'm not trading something that's $1 wide. So I'm not going to trade Duke. Let's move on to the next one here. MTG. I mean, it's coming back down, but it's still wider than I'm comfortable with. MTG. Oh, nobody's there. Okay, not going to trade MTG. There's not enough liquidity at all. Next, TEL, TEL. August 16th. There's no liquidity there either. 1, 2, 38.99. All right, and AFL. Oh yeah, lots of liquidity there. Okay, around the 80 delta. Oh, still that's like $1 wide. 880 to 970. I'm not gonna trade that. But this one here is 732, 650 to 680, 88 cents extrinsic. 88 cents extrinsic divided by 680. There's 13%. Okay. That looks good. 30 cents wide, 732. Okay. AFL. August 16th. 87.5. All right. Mid price is at 665. I'll start there. Working at 665 on AFL, August 16th. Not fill. Let's go 670. That's still not in. Let's go 675. We're in a little bit out of time. Okay, I'm in. Average fill price is going to be 675. All right, so 675. Lock it in. AFL, August 16th, 87.5 at 675. Trade number 3. AFL. 87.5 calls. 675. When trading, what is AFL at right now? 93.27. Okay, so put on 3 new trades. So we took off one trade earlier. Took off UL. We kept NEM, CBAC, and AEM. And we just added these three: CLS, KBH, AFL. Time value is the same as extrinsic value. Really similar. There may be some give or takes in there, like some row. If you're familiar with all the option Greeks, there may be some row. There may be some vega. There may be some things like that. But yeah, in a nutshell, time value is the same as extrinsic value. And extrinsic always goes to 0, no matter what, on every option, period. I want to pay as little of that as possible, right? So yes, basically the same thing. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and fill in all of our exit points on these three, and then I'll send you on your way. So I'm going to close Duke. I'm going to close MTG. I'm going to close Tel. So we got those three. Okay. So we're going to do this. We're going to split screen with this. All right, so let's start at CLS. Then we'll add KBH and AFL. Move this over. All right, CLS, we got in at 6116. So I'm going to put this here. That's not CLS. That's CLS. 6116. And a half ATR down gets us right at about 60. Okay. One ATR up is 63.43. Very cool. And the last one, two ATR ups is 2 ATR up is 65.72. Okay, that works right there. All right. And then we want a cylinder strength on CLS at, it's currently at a heat map value of G31. So the deeper in there, the more likely it is to snap back like a rubber band. So that's why at G value that high, I'm only going to go with the 5-point spread. So G31 is going to make G36 cylinder strength. Okay. Let's go to the next one real quick. KBH. So KBH we got in at 76.65. Okay. And KBH on here. Half ATR down gets us around 75.34. Okay, that'll work. It doesn't have to be specific on the nose exactly to the penny, but you want to get close, right? 79.06 is a roll up. It's more important just to know what you're going to do when these things occur, right? If it's 79.06 or if it's 79 or if it's 79.12, it doesn't really matter as long as you have your game plan in place. And 81.54. Okay, that'll work there. That was on KBH. And last one's AFL. AFL we got in at 93.27. Okay. And We're looking at a half ATR at 92.57. Michael asks about what do you use for higher, what you use the higher ATR values. So the ATR value is it's pretty much on every chart you can add in, super easy. It's a relative measure of how much movement there is over the last 14 days. And it's a calculation that comes through here. I mean, my calculation came in at $1.28 versus $1.30, so it's gonna be really close. The reason we do that is to balance risk, like I was saying, and then rolling up is also one of the most amazing things I've ever found. Leo, BAC earnings tomorrow. Really? Oh, scheduled for July 16th. Is that after the close or before the close? Or before the market open? It's the 16th before the market open. Oh, my friend, thank you. What do you? Oh, frick. It's already 3 o'clock. Well, we're in for the ride. Yep, there it is. I totally missed it on my account right there. Leo, I probably would not have been holding that. But you know what? Here we are. Sometimes that happens, right? Of course, I position sized it correctly. Fingers crossed, only good things happen. But either way, I'm in for the ride. Man, Leo, I wish you'd told me. You did tell me about 6 minutes ago. I only saw it right now. I'm sorry, my friend. All right, let's go to this last one here. AFL. I do have why is AFL not showing up? I do have criteria for when a stock is coming to earnings. I'll show that for just a moment. In just a moment. Let me fill in this real quick. 94.49. $95.77. That'll work. Okay. All right. So AFL cylinder strength at what? I don't think I got that on KBH. I'll get that in a second. So it's currently at G9. And so a 10-point spread. So G19. Okay. And then lastly, let's do KBH. I don't think we covered KBH. Yeah, we didn't. Okay, KBH. G5. That's also going to be a 10-point spread. So G15. Okay, done with that. Okay, let me cover my earnings criteria real quick. Leading in earnings. Is the trade already profitable? Actually, yeah. BAC is a little bit profitable. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. Oh, not BA, BA. BAC. Little bit profitable. Second question. Pull this up. Does the expected move break the trend line we're following? So the trend line would be like the 10. Does the expected move break that? Or in this case, really the half ATR. Does the expected move go down past here, 41.50? Easy, easy. So the way you do that is you go to the closest expiration, one and then the other. So you're buying an at the money straddle. Okay. So this is $1.54. You take 85% of that. So 154 times 0.85, $1.30. So it's saying the expected move can be $1.30 up or $1.30 down. Now, of course, since I'm in, I want it to be up, but we need to be prepared. That's the expected move. It could go either way, or it could go nowhere, right? That's the expected move somewhere in between $1.30 up and $1.30 down. So I'll leave these marks on here, right? I'm not going to close it either way until the end of the day tomorrow. That's just how it goes. But yeah, if it does break my trend lines, then I would get out. Otherwise, I would hold. So in this case, I would definitely have gotten out. And unfortunately, I did not see that ahead of time. I definitely do wish that I had. Max asked a couple questions. What's your opinion on getting into a trade when you have earnings in 10 days and a contract's in 30? So my criteria is I don't want to have earnings the next 3 days. You can play a leading up into earnings trade. I've done that many times and been very successful. I don't generally like to hold into earnings. This was absolutely a trading error on my part because I didn't see it right there on the screen. And unfortunately, I didn't see Leo's note until after the market closed. What are your uses of the ATR lines? Making sure the stock is acting according to plan or it's for taking profits. Couple things. So first thing with the ATR values is calculating position size. And that's why I was saying earlier, you can calculate a really exciting stock like Coke and have the same amount of risk as exciting stock like Tesla as a boring stock like Coke. Because when you factor in the ATR value into this, right? So if the ATR value is $1.50, take your account balance, multiply by the risk that you want to take, and you divide that by 2 times the ATR value, it's going to normalize what that looks like. It's going to normalize it, right? So if you have an ATR value that's huge, you're going to have a really small position size. If you have an ATR value that's super small, your position size should be really big. Or not should be, but could be really big. And then as far as why do I do the 1 and 2 ATRs, that's where I roll up. And rolling up is honestly one of the coolest pieces of voodoo that I've ever found. Whenever I roll up, it allows us to take partial profits now. It frees up capital and it keeps the trade on. So you can still trade while still taking partial profits, which is super, super cool. We've done it a few times. In fact, we did it on one we're holding right now. I think it was AEM we did. Yeah. We got in at 73.08 and then we rolled it up at 74.63, which was one ATR up. So the really cool thing about this is it's if the trade reverses and turns around on you, you actually lose less than you would if you had just held the original position. And if the trade moves on with you, you've already taken partial profits and you can keep the trade alive. So it has all these great benefits for it. So definitely something I highly recommend. Let's see. John Lee says, according to TOS, they're predicting $1.50, $1.60, and I was looking at $1.30. So either way, that's what it's going to be. Trust me, I would not have done that on purpose. I have lost too much money trading earnings to have done that on purpose. But you know what? Maybe it'll work out. Right. That's what OVTLYR is for, is to give us that leg up in the options in the market, not just in the options market. Thank you all so much for coming to today's OVTLYR trading room. See you right back here tomorrow. Talk soon.